Welcome back, fellow gamers. This is Gamer1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 8 and Third Reich events. As you can see, Germany, Großdeutschland. We were talking about Gross, Germanic Reichs or something like that. Greater German Race Nation. It might have been called once it was this, and made a few events, but they got cut even before the very first release of TRE, and I'd have to rebuild them now. What I've never done, I'd like to do, I don't think I'm going to do it for TRE with Black Ice. Probably it's going to wait till something with Hearts of Iron 4, but is to make a series of events on the rebuilding of Berlin into Germania, or whatever, Waltz, whatever, world capital of Germany, or as it would have been sort of, or would have been known as, sort of Albert Speer's building project. I keep clicking on it because that's what we're talking about. As well as that, which would probably be, right now with my taste in doing stuff, at least 4 to 6 events, if not 8 or 12 events over a few years. But I don't know if any of you have noticed on the first page of the thread to download this mod and talking about promoting this mod, there's an event image that no one has ever seen in game because it never made it to a version. I made the event image when I saw it, and a few things go, that'd be a great for, be a great event image kind of thing. And it's for the rebuilding of Linz into sort of the Führer Art Center, because that's where he was going to be. The German art capital was going to be in Linz. And I have material. That's one was the event image was made, but the event never was. But I have material for the rebuilding of several of the cities. Some in which before the war, some building was starting, but a lot of it, well, eventually it was all shut down by the war. And so that that would probably be somewhere between 6 and 12 other events outside, city type events outside of Berlin rebuilding. And as I think we'll see, we'll be getting lots of resources and everything coming in. This would be a significant IC resource and labor, manpower drain on the German economy, and it comes under several functions. One, it's what I think would have happened. It's historical in that it's all based from various plans, concepts, mainly stuff that's easily found in Inside the Third Reich, the book by Albert Speer. So, that's where you would, where I find a lot of the material. Not that it would have all worked out exactly that way. So it's historically based in that sense. So it teaches us history of what, at least sort of architecturally, that's what it's mainly focusing on, what would have been done then. So it's partially what I think Hitler would have done, partially to educate about and give you greater immersion. I mean, when I say educate on this, it isn't necessary, it equals also immersion, that you get the feeling of what's going on in Germany kind of thing. We've had early on a lot of like posters that, Verdarken, to darken the cities for night, night because of the bombings. Things like this. What you would have seen, felt, heard in Germany at that time. I'm trying to, give you immersion in there, and it's also education, so it's the same type of thing. the more you know of history, the better you'll be able to play the mod, that kind of thing. And so you'll learn more history as you play the mod, and then the next time you play through it, you'll make better choices where you're given choices. So it's partially for that education immersion faction going on, but also a big thing is to make it so, oh yeah, we can invade Britain, we can invade whatever else, but it's done because we're now overwhelming superpower, and I can build as many panzer divisions or build a great battle fleet without any sort of this or that kind of choices. It's just sort of like, hey, we can do it all. Well, this would be designed to, again, based in history, again, that you're not exactly Hitler. You have to sort of be, I don't know, somebody that's below Hitler, but gets to make a lot of the major choices or whatever. So, you know, a lot of people have suggested, and they're very good ideas, things like, what if Hitler was, you know, assassinated or a putsch against him very early on, like over the Czech crisis or something like that, and then let's, you know, have the German nationalists in charge and, you know, make that path for the Third Reich events. Well, yeah, I guess that would still be the Third Reich, and that the Second Reich was the sort of the Kaiser Reich, if you will, and the previous First Reich was some, I don't know if that's earlier Holy Roman Empire or whatever they want to consider that, or maybe it's some mythical earlier Germania thing, you know, Roman era, but whatever. Is, yeah, I could, that the name would stick, but sort of denazify the thing. Well, there's two problems from my perspective with it. Again, it's a great idea for a mod. I think it would be very popular and a very good thing to do. But one, so much of this stuff would have to be changed. All the images with the swastikas, you know, on the uniforms and everywhere else would, to my liking, would have to go bye-bye. All the, you know, events that deal with Hitler, Goering, and Speer, and whoever else would all go bye-bye, because Speer was nobody. He was the Reich architect to Hitler. If Hitler goes bye-bye before the war, you know, not that necessarily anything would be happen to Speer other than that he would lose his prominent job and just be some architect somewhere, or be drafted into the army and be some military engineer somewhere. That's, you know, so you got just so much to be modded there, a huge amount to be modded, that's just beyond the scope of TRE. And the other thing that's beyond the scope is you're losing the sort of education and immersion of what learning about the Third Reich would be. So enough talking, let's get on to it. Now, as you can see, I have had a crash right on the savings of the year, so okay, I don't want to take that province. Actually, I want to keep moving against these guys. Good. But there's no time, but I've started the process of good, I'm taking them out, of shifting forces west. We'll cut that off in here. Not moving everything, just okay. I'm back after a crash. I had one on saving. I've noticed that if I clear out much of the backlog of saves, and I put them in another folder, so if I need to go back, I can still go back and do it, so I know where they are. But I clear out a bunch of the saves. It seems to help with any crash. Obviously, where it crashed, it failed to fully save. It's still that save goes bye-bye, but get you back going. Just a suggestion if you guys are running into that problem. Yes, we'll give you metal. Okay. Okay, the HMS Malaya is lost. So key British ship is gone. I think it's a battleship. Yes, we want to reward our heroes. As you can see, replaced the sort of standard image with one. I think we've seen this before, obviously, but just go over it again. Over the standard image from Black Ice. See a general giving out medals, Iron Cross, infantry badge, tank badge. I believe that's the close assault badge, and another photo there of a table. These are all out. They're out in the field, the forest, issuing more of these. That's sort of the way the Germans did it. So yes, we'll do this. The Führer demands more tanks. That is Albert Speer there. In the suit. I'm pretty sure that's pre-war. Photo. Okay. We are going to be building more. We'll get this through to August. 5% on the build speed. Okay, we'll take that. Clear core Tunisian. Yeah, we'll take that. Atlantic Wall, Northern France section. Ooh, okay. Now, I know just recently when we were talking about the Dunkirk-Calais section, so I don't need to go over my theories on fortifications and defenses here. We know, and I think it's weighted, and I think I vaguely looked at it at a year, well, before this series, I think it was in 7.5 version of Black Ice. I looked at it, and I don't know if it's changed, but it is weighted, if I remember correctly. I'm not actually sure, but more heavily to have the invasion happen right here in the historical place, but there is a chance that it happens up here, and I think smaller one here, and a chance that it can happen here, as well as I believe there's also a chance that it happens somewhere down here, but those are less and less likely. The scripted invasion I'm talking about, scripted D-Day, but so this is the most likely one, and we're facing in this, historically this area in Calais got the most defenses to my knowledge, but they did decent defenses down here too, obviously, so Germany's waiting, or it's ready for that, so we're going to go with that. So now we've got a lot of fortifications here. We are shifting a few units out to help garrison that region. Okay, now a lot of production going on. I'm, as you can see, producing aircraft. A lot of things to keep the manpower from going down too quickly. I don't think any of these use much manpower. And we're also doing a bunch of, saw the tropical island garrisons. I hope those are, I quickly looked at them, they look like they're decent defensive units. So, and we are having, places here that they would work on, but I hope they're not too difficult to ship, because some of those units may have been created specifically so that let's give Italy an objective so that they deal with these guys up here. Just to keep like Japan from pulling its garrisons from islands that would be useful. So hopefully that won't be a problem. I'm moving these guys over here so we can pick them up and get them out. We're also producing lots of police units. I'm looking at a lot of revolt risk here in India, and we got to suppress that. We get better oil if we suppress this revolt risk. So some of the units that were intended for here ended up going here, which are helping in Singapore, but we need some more down here too. We may even send it into Japanese zones just to help Japan out, keep them from revolting. So we need police. So seeing that we need police, we're going to make some more police divisions. The Ordnungspolizei, or the Order Police, as I understand the translation. So that's a lot of them, small sort of police regiments, but 1,200 man units. Yeah, I think we're going to do a little bit more Z plan, but we're going to some of the things we should maybe be building, like, well, Z plan's good, but I'm not planning, like we've talked about, on winning the naval battle. Maybe I'm making a mistake there. I'm still planning on avoiding the battles. But I do know that we will have units needing escorts. So I'm hoping that we can, not... And some of these are going to take a while to build. The pocket battleships, particularly. July 44. The heavy cruiser will help with get the practicals down a little bit better. But so that we're doing a sort of weakness strategy. This is going, I think, so bad is because all these damn Soviet units are burning up my fuel. And another one. Yes. Defense Research Report. We haven't had one of these in quite some time. Minor breakthrough. No, I'm going to. Beat up a bunch of that and supplies for the moment. Not that I don't want to build more stuff, but I just don't want to burn through too much of my manpower. I think we're going to have some brief times of up and down. We have to feed all these Soviet troops and give them gasoline. I don't really understand. I don't know if anybody could quickly explain why we're stuck at 43 right there at the balance point. What's doing that? Okay, no, we don't need that. Still have enough units for fuel, oil production. Because since that's been hovering right there at 43, we've had a few of these guys come online, at least somewhat. And it hasn't changed that, so I don't know. We should be pulling a lot, because if you notice we're a lot higher out here because we now own this instead of occupying it. we get more oil out, so I don't understand that entirely. Okay, radar advanced. Oh, then it jumped up. We're going to cancel that. Okay, by event, I believe. Destroyer armor. Yeah, we'll let that go. Now we've jumped way back up in that, not just because of production, but that seesaw, supplies out, supplies back. BS. I think we should do a light carrier. So I think we'll do that. And the fighter group for it. Okay, nothing I'm going to do at the moment. So we now have this bit of Greater Finland and Greater Romania. Okay, we can send our police units somewhere else. I don't know. So I think we can reduce this. I don't know why this is at 1.9 and 2. Well, that hardly matters. I guess just the color change that. I don't know what's affecting that entirely. But I don't think we need all these guys here, but we need some police somewhere else too. So I know I just built a bunch, and I think they're both going to be needed because we got to occupy places like South Africa and we can look at, because we're moving away from here, we got a lot of places here to occupy that would be good to have some police units. We won't remove the British corps and get this over to official German territory until we take London. Then we can, then Tanganyika will become German fully. I'm sending a bunch of stuff here. And if you also notice, a lot of Vichy French units moving this way, and a lot of Spanish units moving this way. And I figured out, quickly look around, neither of them have transports, so could be an event or better EULA coding for them to build some transports so that they can move troops in and out of Africa better. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, we want that now. Let's put that off there. And Hip will come down into there just to pick up. I'm just going to rush across there. Okay, I'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, well, I want to keep this episode sort of short so I can get it up here today because I'm making it today and going to be uploading. So, thanks for viewing. Thanks for commenting. A lot of great comments on our victory against the evil Soviet Empire. So, love to hear more if you have more thoughts on it, whether on that thread or here. So, see you next time. Thanks a lot.